What's up, y'all? It's the homie Vic getting after it once again, and I wanted to drop this because the month is slipping away. We're already mid-January, so I know I talked to you a little bit about team resolution, but I didn't lay down my resolutions. So I'm gonna let you know what my resolutions are for the year 2011. And as always, get at me. Let me know what's on your mind. What are your resolutions? Get at me at Vic at BigVicPresents.com. That's Vic with a K. And starting things off, for me, this year I am resolving to start working on, and this was sparked by, towards the end of the year, I released a Christmas single called It's Christmas. If you haven't checked it out, I thought it was pretty nice, as did a few others. But over the last few years, the holidays are my favorite time of year. You guys know that about me if you've been following. And over the last few years, I've been really torn with the idea of doing a big Christmas show, kind of like a musical, with skits and things like that, big stage production. And obviously that's a huge undertaking. I have a group of cousins who are just phenomenally talented. They get together, they go to these school of arts things, and they remind you, whenever I'm around, they remind me of that show Glee, and I know they want to smack the snot out of me for saying that. It's too bad, youngsters, because that's how it is. You can't get at me. Anyway, I would love to have a place where they can showcase their talent and do their thing, and and get their friends together. And I've been talking about it, and I know they've been hearing about it, and they're like, when are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it? So I resolved to at least start. I'm not saying it's gonna be this year, but I will start the process of getting that done. It's quite an undertaking to put something like that together. So I resolved to get that started. Another thing I want to get started, I resolved to, we all have, creative juices flowing and things that we feel that are little creative projects that we like to get into if we just would lay down and do them, sit down and get them going. And I have on many occasions started the process for writing a book, and I have one in mind that I want to make sure that I get started this year. I will start writing my book, probably a science fiction novel. And other resolutions as far as fitness, and you guys know fitness is a big thing with me. Find me in the gym almost every day at 24 Hour Fitness. And but the fitness as far as activity is not an issue. It's the eating habits with me need to be a little more consistent. I say that every year. I need to work on, a little more fruits and vegetables. I do pretty good with those, but it just needs to be a little more consistent with the fruit and vegetables, and a little less of the nachos and chili dogs and hot wings and all the fatty goodness, especially this time of year with football and all that stuff. It just really gets crazy. I've been able to keep it under decent control because of training for the half marathons you guys have heard me talk about, but still I need to be consistent throughout the year. That's another one of my resolutions. Also along the lines of fitness, is get enough rest. I need to get more rest. Another one that pops up every year, resolving to get more rest. I don't know how I'm going to do that with all these other resolutions I'm making to get all these other things done. That's definitely one of them. And those of you, again, if you know me, you know that I tend to be a pretty spiritual, metaphysical type of cat. And I'm a big believer in feeding that part of your soul. And, unfortunately, I haven't been walking the talk as much as I used to. Probably, again, we get so busy in life and what have you. And for lack of rest, I have not had an opportunity to meditate the way I used to. So that's a big thing for me this year. I resolved to make sure I do more meditating, going inwards, feeding the soul that way, getting in touch with my spirit and reaching out, connecting with the universe around us, and maybe even finding my avatar, if you know what that means. And if you don't, better ask somebody. So, I noticed this year if I did sit down and try to meditate, I think I wound up just falling asleep. Getting lack of rest. So that's a big one for me this year, trying to feed the soul. And probably most important resolution is make more music. That's right. I don't know how can I be the super producer and I'm not making music. And I did some things last year, but I think the release of my CD, the Big Vic Presents Intro CD, which is now few years old now, but it just seems like it was such an undertaking that the hangover just lasted forever. And so it's time to just put that away and work on something new for the 4 or 5 people who have been waiting for some more material from me. And yes, I did. People in Japan bought my CD. People in Japan bought my CD. People in Japan bought my CD. Shoot. Well, they did. But for the handful of people who are interested, yes, I do need to make some more material, and I will be doing that, and hopefully getting involved in a lot more than I did last year as far as the musical projects. You can look at the blogs from last year and see that although I was trying to focus on music, there were just a lot of other things going on that took my attention away, and so we're going to really be focusing on that this year. And that is it. Actually, I have one other thing. It's not really a resolution as much as I've decided that this will be kind of like my mantra for 2011. I got into a debate with a beautiful young lady who shall remain nameless. But we're talking about achieving goals and accomplishing what you set out to do. And after that conversation, it occurred to me and said, a lot of us have things that we want to do, goals that we want to accomplish, but I would think the vast majority of us don't accomplish goals because we're, for whatever reason, whether it's time constraints or whatever, we're simply not willing to put in the work. You got to put in the work. Whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you want to achieve, you got to be willing to put in the work. So that's going to be my mantra for 2011. Put in the work. Put it on t-shirts, put it on hats. If you see people walking around with gear that says put in the work, you heard it here first. I started it. I invented the phrase put in the work. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to keep that in our minds. Put in the work. Whatever it is you want to do, put in the work. Be willing to take the time to do what it takes to get you to that goal. And you will accomplish it. I'll be right next to you all year long. Get at me at vic@bigvicpresents.com. That's Vic with a K. And let me know what your resolutions are. What do you resolve to do? And let's get there together. 2011 is going to be a big year. Let's do it. And I'm getting out to something I've been listening to a lot lately. LaToya Luckett, Regrets, featuring Ludacris. LaToya is an artist who I think, I wouldn't say she doesn't get enough credit, but she does seem to not get as much run. She's had some nice joints over the years. Obviously, Beyonce outshines all the Destiny Child women. I happen to be in terms of, I like the way LaToya looks. She's got a nice swag. She's always put together well, and she makes some tracks that are really appealing to me. This is one of them. This is Regrets. Keep going with your swag, girl. You look good. You're doing it big. And featuring Luda. Out. Suicide, suicide, cosign, go